Brown Mogotsi is a reflection of a bad ANC member, if he is, because he is implicated on siphoning money in the name of the ANC. ANC can't associate itself with such bad behavior.
Hello, my beautiful people. I truly hope you are well and welcome to Allegedly. Now, let's get straight into what we need to talk about today.
Siphoning money in the reports and all of that, involved in this and that, illegal missions and all of that. ANC can't pride itself of such people if they are its members.
Loud condemnations happen on camera. There is a very stern vow that he creates to root out bad apples in inverted commas. Then he has a very cautious silence when the scandal actually gets close to the party's powerful people. That on its own is something to worry about. This is a story where we are going to be unpacking today what this man actually is about. He is nowhere close to being an honest leader, according to me, because you cannot be a leader that treats two different people who are definitely ANC members in different manners. That is not fair leadership. So why did Fikile Mbalula actually publicly denounce Brown Mogotsi, while Senzo Mchunu, my people, which is the suspended police minister, is tied as well to this Madlanga Commission fallout? He continues to appear on the ANC platforms, and it looks like nothing is a problem when it comes to him. Is that even fair? No.
And they will face the full wrath of the ANC and accountability from the side of the party. We are a big organization, so he is just but one of others who behave like that. And that is why the question of money in our organization has generally become one of the things that the Electoral Commission is addressing. But it's not through workshops, it's what action we're going to take.
So on camera, Mbalula thundered about comrades Tsotsis, and he was saying that the ANC will never associate itself with people like Brown Mogotsi. The message was actually clear, but so dramatic and immediate. I mean, that on its own allows us to have some form of public condemnation. Yet, only weeks after Senzo Mchunu was placed on special leave pending this judicial probe that they speak about, Mchunu was now allowed to deliver a very high-profile ANC memorial lecture in Richards Bay. This is what actually happened today, my people.
Njengoba sazi ukuthi sikanjele ucomrade unathi umthetho obeambassador eSouth Africa France. No kwenzeke into besingayilindele nakancane ngisho emaphusheni. Sibone nje sishawa ebusweni izindaba engemnandi.
This is a public platform where he used, despite the inquiry into alleged interference in police probes that we all currently know about. Let's take a look at a very quick timeline, just so you as viewers get to know and understand the facts and why this is actually important. There was a testimony that was given before the Madlanga Commission. This revealed WhatsApp exchanges and links that were between the businessman Madlanga together with Brown Mogotsi. And this on its own has obviously raised a lot of questions about access to money flows that are tied to police contracts together with political interference. But before that happened, President Cyril Ramaphosa had already placed Police Minister Senzo Mchunu on special leave and actually announced a judicial inquiry. This was after allegations of collusion and interference were made public. So an acting minister was now appointed while the probe actually proceeds. The acting minister is the Kachalia guy. Yes. But now, just recently, while under these investigations, Mchunu today, my people, appeared as a keynote speaker at the ANC Memorial. It's an ANC Memorial event in the Madlanga region near Richards Bay. This is a visible sign, according to me, of continued party stage access. I mean, what else does it mean? What else could it ever be? Now, let's compare these two public responses. I want you to follow through. Number one, we have a Brown Mogotsi. Brown Mogotsi is here being singled out. He is denounced. His ANC membership is described as expired, and that the party publicly is distancing itself from him. That is visible punishment. And whether or not every legal process has run its course, that is not the question. The truth is that on its own is visible punishment.
Because we know money has been exchanging hands, and characters such as this who claim ANC membership and they don't understand what it means to be a member of the ANC have done deeds that are beyond imagination. I can tell you, we will never associate ourselves with characters like Brown Mogotsi if he's a member of the ANC and his activities. He must account about that, and the ANC will stand up to such characters who pride themselves openly and publicly about the pride of being involved in things that do not raise the name of the ANC in good stead.
And then we come to Senzo Mchunu. Senzo Mchunu is placed on special leave after serious accusations. Yes, but allowed, he is allowed to speak at party events. He is afforded procedural language like integrity commission and judicial inquiry, rather than the same rhetoric fury that was reserved for Mogotsi by saying, yeah, you are a comrade Tsotsi. No one has ever called Senzo Mchunu a comrade Tsotsi, even after the WhatsApp messages that we have seen that General Khumalo has actually shown us in the recent days. The optics are just markedly different. This is not just tone policing, my people. This is a pattern that I want you to follow through. Public fury for those with no cushion. So if Brown Mogotsi is attackable, we will attack him, so we'll refrain from attacking the big fish.
And you can see there's no fear in his face, nor the pride of being an ANC member. And he throws it like as if it's a cheap thing. ANC, yes, I'm a member. I did this and did that. Yes, there's nothing wrong connecting with so and so and all of that and so on. I do have relations with them. Not in our name. Not in our name. The ANC can't associate ourselves with such dubious characters.
There is procedural buffering for those who still can carry some political weight, which is just unfair. But at the same time, it's not just about it being unfair for these two different individuals, but it's trying to show us the kind of person that Mbalula actually is. He is taking people that are listening to him on a ride. You are emotionally, literally lying to people on live television, on press briefings, telling them about how bad Brown Mogotsi is, but you never take time to tell them how bad Senzo Mchunu is. And yet the two people are in the ANC under you, and you have the right as the SG to actually talk about it? No. Why are you silent about one party and not silent about the other?
And so on, and we pride ourselves of them, that they carry the emblem of that they once or they are members of our organization. The people are telling us out there very clearly, we trust the ideas of what the ANC stands for, but we don't trust the vehicle. Who are the people who are battering this vehicle? It's characters like those.
Is it because the other party is more stronger or more powerful or threatening than the other? What does it say about you as a leader? And what does it say about what you say to the public? Why is there a difference? Because there is a practical hypothesis that I want you to understand. Why is there a gap? Here are a few plausible reasons that I think may be the reason that is ranking this particular logic from Mbalula. The first could be political insurance and connections. He probably does know that Mchunu is a very senior NSC member and has deep ANC networks. So the kind of internal relationships that actually make outright public firing costly to the party's internal cohesions. So now attacking him risks exposing more senior links. But my question would be, if you do not want to attack him, why attack Brown Mogotsi? Do you think we will not see through your... We will see through it, because these two people are the same in terms of membership in the ANC, but you are treating them completely differently, and you are literally guns blazing attacking one person and not the other. Why? And then the institutional leverages. It could be because of that. Because as a former or maybe a current cabinet minister, Mchunu obviously controls institutional layers. He did and may potentially also, if he's reinstated, which I think will be bogus if he is, has power to appoint, he has access, and he has intelligence. So removing him abruptly can potentially create instability and provoke factional blowbacks when it comes to the ANC. But this takes me back to what I keep saying about the ANC. They are worried about the party. They are caring about how the party sees things, whether we are friends in the party, and nothing to do with the country and the citizens of this country. Ramaphosa clearly, plain blank said, I am putting the ANC above the South African community or the South African citizens. That on its own lets you know that the greatest important influence that they are caring about and want to see approval of is not people that are citizens in this country, but the ANCs and all the people that they're working with, which is so dangerous, highly dangerous. and must be erased. I think Mogotsi is just a scapegoat. Mogotsi is a businessman. He does not have a cabinet seat. That obviously is going to make him very expendable. He can be publicly condemned without threatening, party equilibrium or anything. And maybe the fourth reason is also the fact that there's damage control strategies. This is where the ANC is probably going to be engaged in narrative management to try and figure out how they narrate this whole thing to make us think everything is okay and they hate corruption, meanwhile they don't. Insisting on things like internal processes, insisting on integrity panels and commissions, like what is currently happening with the Madlanga Commission. And this on its own may kind of signal action while slowing the speed and visibility of some form of accountability to the people that must account to it more than anyone else. This on its own, my people, buys time and hides decisions in bureaucratic dust. And the bottom line of this whole thing is there is less about the seriousness of allegations and more about the political cost management. And they are just focused on the political cost management. They don't care about the allegations or how we feel as South African citizens with regards to what has basically happened. So don't just take the optics. Look at the record that was presented at the Madlanga Commission. There is evidence that is presented by witnesses, including WhatsApp exchanges and documented transactions that are linking Madlala and Mogotsi and Mchunu. And there are testimonies that are implicated that there is some form of interference in investigations, and this includes the disbanding of the political killings task team. This is a move of critics we call a smoking gun in terms of how they are able to obstruct crime and solve problems. There are journalists and investigators that have traced payments and meetings that line up with decisions that benefit certain actors, including Mchunu. And those are the hard facts that made the headlines. And yet Mbalula's public anger is not pointed on Mchunu. It is highly pointed squarely at Mogotsi. Easy, because he's easy. This is a visible theater, while the institutional response to Mchunu has been blurred into commissioning language and internal ANC procedures, the dissonance in the story of how they treat Mchunu. This is so unfair, and apart from it being unfair, this on its own is a manner of us seeing that nothing may potentially happen to Mchunu. Unfortunately, regardless of the fact that there's a Madlanga Commission that is talking about the things that Mchunu may be implicated in, let me tell you the sad truth. It is highly possible that nothing is going to happen to Mchunu, because at this current point, my people, the ANC is acting like there is no fire in South Africa when it comes to corruption and this man, okay? In conclusion, rhetoric, my people, is cheap. Political theater can win headlines, but it won't reform institutions. If we as South Africans want true accountability, rhetoric must be matched with transparency. It must be matched with visible action that treats all actors in the same manner, whether they are a businessman or they are a periphery or a senior minister with deep party ties. Ask yourself this question. Do you want the ANC to be a party that theatrically shames the weak and quietly shields the powerful, or a party that applies the same rules to everyone? What do you think? Is Mbalula's condemnation of Mogotsi real or a performative one? Should Mchunu be allowed on ANC stages while under investigation? Drop your thoughts below. If you value deep dive political analysis, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring that bell. We'll keep dissecting the headlines and the power behind them. From me to you, it's bye for now.